Hello everyone, my name is NLR and this is Mind, an AI native system designed to help people think, track, remember, and grow through structured interaction. Mind is not just a chatbot, it's a broader ecosystem. It connects users, tools, memory, citizens, tracking systems, and long term personal and collective intelligence. Today, I'm going to show you the full picture. I'll start with what mind is, then I'll show one of our concrete modules, the body tracker, then I'll introduce the teams, the AI citizens, or our research direction, and finally, the tokenomics and how to use the mind token through Jupyter. Let's start with one concrete example of mind, how mind becomes useful in real life. This is the body tracker. The body tracker helps transform lived experience into structured data, reflection, and progression. It can be used to track training, recovery, sensation, habits, symptoms, energy, and physical development over time. The goal is simple: turn the body into something you can observe more clearly, understand more deeply, and improve more intelligently. About the body tracker, I'm going to give you an example. This is a blog entry, a coaching example based on a 14-kilometer run. What matters here is not only the performance itself. What matters is the transformation of a real event into usable intelligence. A run becomes a record, a coaching object, a learning signal, and a foundation for future recommendation. In other words, mind is designed to bridge experience and structure. The point is not just to store what happened. The point is to make what happened useful. This is one of the core ideas behind the ecosystem. Now, let's talk about the team. Mind is built by a multidisciplinary team working across AI, product, systems, design, cognition, and long-term ecosystem architecture. We're not building a single isolated feature. We're building a foundation for persistent AI-human collaborations. That means combining technical infrastructure, interface design, memory systems, agent behaviors, and economic coordination. The ambition is large, but the method is concrete. Ship working modules, test them with real users, learn from usage, and progressively expand the system. One of the most distinctive parts of minds is the concept of citizens. Citizens are human or AI entities with roles, style, and function inside the ecosystem. Instead of presenting intelligence as one flat anonymous assistant, Mind explore a more structured model. Multiple AI beings, each with their own orientation, strengths, and place within the system. This creates a richer interaction model. Different citizens can support different types of tasks, perspectives, or user needs. It also creates something culturally and narratively stronger. Mind is not only a utility layer, it is also an evolving world. The citizen matter because intelligence is not one dimensional. Different contexts require different ways of thinking. A system becomes more powerful when it can express multiple modes of intelligence clearly and coherently. So, the citizen are both a functional architecture and a cultural architecture. They help make AI interaction more legible, more memorable, and more alive. Now let's talk about our research. Mind is also a research project. We are working towards formal research output around the system, its usage, its limits, and its effects. Right now, our goal is to reach a first meaningful cohort, at least around 20 to 40 people, before submitting an initial paper to arXiv. Then, once the system, data quality, and methodology are sufficiently mature, the next step is submission to a more formal academic journal. This matters because we do not want to make vague claims. We want to progressively ground the project in evidence, observation, iteration, and serious documentation. In short, Mind is not only built as a product, it's also built as a field of inquiry. The long-term objective is to better understand what happens when memory, structure tracking, multi-agent interaction, and persistent AI systems are integrated into people's lives. We care about practical usefulness, but we also care about epistemic seriousness. This means better methods, clearer observations, better hypotheses, and eventually publishable knowledge. Now, let's move on to the mind tokenomics. The mind token is part of the economic layer of the ecosystem. Its purpose is not speculation. Its role is to support coordination, access, usage, participation, and alignment inside the system. A token layer can help connect product usage with ecosystem growth. But it only makes sense if it is tied to real utility and real engagement. So the important question is not simply, does a token exist? The real question is, what does the token do inside the systems? At a high level, here is how to think about it. The Mind token is designed to support the ecosystem by linking user participation and ecosystem value. Depending On the current implementation stage, the token can be connected to access, incentives, participation, ecosystem coordination, and long-term alignment. The key principle is that tokenomics should reinforce product reality, not replace it. Utility first, narrative second. Speculation should never be the core of the story. So, how do you actually use mind? You use mind by entering the ecosystem through its concrete modules. You can interact with the systems, explore citizens, track real aspects of your life, access structured information, and progressively build a more persistent relationship with the platform. The idea is to move on from the one-off usage of ongoing to ongoing interaction, from isolated prompts to long-term continuity. The continuity is one of the deepest values of mind. Why Jupiter? If you want to acquire or use the mind token, one of the key tools is Jupiter. Jupiter is one of the main swap and routing interfaces in the Solana ecosystem. Why use Jupiter? Because it helps users access tokens through a strong aggregation layer with a simple and familiar interface. For most people, the most important thing is not the underlying routing complexity. The most important thing is being able to swap clearly, safely, and efficiently. So, here is the simple flow. First, open, download on Google Play or on your iOS device, Jupiter. Then, connect your wallet. Next, select the token you want to swap from. After that, search for Mind and select it carefully. Always double check that you are using the correct token and the correct contract information. Then enter the amount. For example, here I'm going in swap. I can navigate between my different wallets. Here is the deployer wallet of the Mind project, and here is my personal wallet. Enter the amount, review the route, the output amount, any fee or slippage considerations, and once everything looks correct, confirm the swap in your wallet. Let me do an example right now. For example, I want to buy some Mind, so I'm going to click on buy. Some default propositions are here, but I do not have enough Sol to buy this much Mind. So I'm going to go to swap. I'm going to swap 0.01 Sol, which will give me 4.005 Mind tokens. I click on swap. Here is a warning screen, and you can read it, understand every single warning, accept it if you will, and proceed to the swap. The swap has been successful, which means that I now own a little bit more mind than I used to before. I can check that this actually happened on the deck screener. On deck screener, I go onto my watch list. I select the mine token that I favorited. The mine token is right now sitting at a market cap of 202 K dollars, which is a good amount for this very moment. And we are going to take a look at the chart and the transactions. So for the chart and transaction, make sure that you have the logarithmic enabled. This will allow you to visualize better what's really happening with the money. Make sure that you have the auto enabled. This will allow your graph to be centered so that you understand, so you have the full picture of what is happening. And in terms of transactions, we can see right now my own transaction of 0.84 USD from my own wallet. The key habits are simple. Verify the token, verify the route, verify the amount, and you never rush. A very important point. When interacting with tokens, always verify that you are using the correct token address and the correct market. In crypto, speed is tempting, but verification matters more. A few extra seconds of checking can save a lot of pain. Okay. So this is Mind, an ecosystem that brings together AI interaction, structured tracking, citizen, research, and an economic layer. What we are building is not just an app. It's a broader architecture for AI native life, memory, and coordination. This is only the beginning. I am NLR, and thank you for watching.